Hi guys, it's Han here. We are going to check out what's changed in the 2024 Toyota Sienna. Thank you for all the help you have provided. Welcome to subscribe my car reviews channel, both in English and Chinese. Thank you all for subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, and lighting up the bell. We have done a lot of videos about Toyota's new generation Sienna product before. All kinds of videos are welcome for everyone to watch. Today, we mainly check out the differences between the 24 and the 23 model. In terms of appearance and size, there is no difference between Model 24 and 23. The XSE trim is slightly longer than others in terms of total length. The numbers and other dimensions are all the same. The suspension design is a McPherson strut in the front and a multi-link structure in the rear. The entire series of products is available in 7-seat and 8-seat versions. That is, the second row has 2 seats and 3 seats. Let's take a look at the picture for the curb weight. The curb weight of the XSE is average among the family, but even the lightest version of the Sienna is heavier than the heaviest version of the Honda Odyssey. The form and parameters of the powertrain of the 24 models have not changed at all. It still uses a hybrid system made of a 2.5-liter self-priming engine. The combined max horsepower is 245 horses. There are front-wheel drive and four-wheel drive options. Equipped with two 88-volt 6.5 mAh battery pack, comes with 18-gallon or 68-liter fuel tank. The EPA announced the fuel consumption and maximum cruising range under comprehensive operating conditions, as shown in the figure. The maximum towing capacity of the entire Sienna lineup is 3,500 pounds. Not surprisingly, the MSRP excluding shipping fee for the 2024 models has been further increased, which we have talked about in previous videos. Toyota has made certain upgrades to Sienna products for the 2024 model. First of all, the minimum ground clearance of the Woodland Edition trim of the four-wheel drive product is higher. It's increased to 6.7 inches or 170 mm. Other versions are 6.3 inches or 160 mm. All products in the series are equipped with the Toyota Safety Sense 2.0 system as standard. However, a standard automatic emergency braking function is added to this system. The highlight of the 2024 product upgrade is the addition of a $4,000 premium package to the XSE trim. So today we will check out what the difference this XSE with premium package has and the difference between the 24 model and the 2023 model. The vehicle we take today was a fleet loan for the past few days. The 2024 Sienna XSE with the premium package, 4.235/60R 18 wheels, two 120-volt 1E500-watt 3-phase power sockets were added. Optional rear seat entertainment. MSRP plus shipping fee is $5,340. This car was finally assembled at the US plant. The auto market is extremely crazy right now. If you buy the XSE trim of Sienna plus taxes and fees, the outdoor price will be $60,000. This is just the middle trim in the Sienna family, not the high or top trim. Let's guess if Toyota had known that products bearing its trademark could be sold at this price right now, would it have released the Lexus? The appearance of this car remains the same as the previous XSE trim. I haven't seen any upgrade projects. The overall shape still inherits the style of the Sienna family, but some accessories have the characteristics of the XSE version. The special-shaped headlights occupy a large area of the front fender. The small forehead in front has unknowingly become the latest design style of the whole family. The front grille is designed to move downwards to achieve the effect of lowering the vehicle's visual center of gravity. There are two air guide holes on the left and right front, but they are decorative and cannot provide ventilation. There are fog lights on the XSE. The XSE version has both chrome and gloss black trim at the front. At the same time, its front face is designed to be more exaggerated than other versions of Sienna. From the side, the styling and external accessories are basically the same as the 23 model XSE. As we mentioned before, the front cabin design of this generation is relatively independent in terms of styling. The integration of the front and the passenger cabin is not as seamless as the previous generation. On one hand, it is affected by the regulatory requirements of some countries and regions. Another thing is that SUV models are currently very popular, and the design of minivan models is closer to SUVs. This phenomenon is not surprising. From the front of the vehicle, you can see that its side-shape design is relatively rounded. After reaching the C-pillar, the design lines on the side fenders become complicated. Of course, the line style in rear part is basically consistent with the design of some of the larger products in the current Toyota family. The track of the sliding door is hidden under the lower edge of the glass of the third row. This is also one of the classic designs often used on minivan products. As the XSE version, it has both chrome and gloss black trim on the side. Chrome trim isn't completely abandoned. In the premium package, its rear view mirror has been upgraded to some extent. This rear-view mirror integrates blind spot monitoring, heating, auto-dimming, automatic folding, as well as an automatic downward function for the reversing headlight, and has integrated turn signals on the outside. We talked about it in the first video of the new generation Sienna. Its side-sliding doors and rear tailgate have kick sensor functions. This area is marked for you. The sensing point is here. The door does not cover the body of the car. The opening angle of the front door is quite large. The 4 windows in the front 2 rows are all single-layer glass, and there is no double-layer glass. In the daily life scene, the minivan has an advantage that SUVs cannot compare with. That is, its floor is relatively low. So whether you are a driver in the front row, or an elderly person or child in the rear row, getting in and out of the car looks easy and convenient. There is no need to step on the pedals to get in and out of a slightly larger SUV. And everyone saw that Sienna was quite considerate in this regard. We had talked about it many times before and made a long handle. Adults can hold on to the top when getting in and out of the car, and children can hold on to the bottom. This seems very user-friendly to the elderly and children. Another American minivan model has a side-sliding door design in the second row. Compared with the normal door opening, this is more convenient for passengers to get on and off the car. Sienna currently comes in 17-inch, 18-inch, and 20-inch wheels. This car uses 18-inch wheels, not the very flamboyant 20-inch wheels. The wheels are all black and some textures are designed inside, which makes them look more textured. Sienna's braking system is all the same. No matter which version, there is no difference. The front discs use ventilated one with diameter of 12.9 inches, and the rear use ventilated discs with diameter of 12.5 inches. You can see from the rear that there is no difference from the previous XSE version. Basically the same. The decorative materials are both black and shiny. The spoiler above does not incorporate a high-mounted brake light. The high-mounted brake light is inside the rear windshield. There are 2 aerodynamic kits on both sides. Rear wiper. The shape of the 2 taillights is relatively elegant. This design style and details can now be found in the slightly larger cars designed by Toyota's North American team. There is no protruding bumper platform design at the back. As you can see below the bumper position, the design is relatively complicated, and they are all decorated in gloss black. There is only one exhaust on the right side with a hidden design. The key to the family. The entire lining of the rear tailgate is plastic. A JBL speaker here. The lower edge of the trunks of Sienna and American minivan are not high, which makes it easier to lift stuff in daily life. The third row folds into a pit, which is also standard and required for American minivans. There are many hooks on the back of third row seats, which is very convenient. There is a hook on the left and a storage compartment below. Inside is a tire repair kit. All Sienna models come standard with a tire repair kit, but spare tire is not standard, which is optional. If the spare tire is optional, it will also be placed in this position. There is a 120 volt, 1500 watt 3-phase power socket on it. Friends often talk with me about this kind of 120 volt socket, so I will say a few more words about it today. Generally, the 120 volt sockets in most passenger cars we come into contact with on the market can only be used after starting the car. This high power socket cannot be used when the vehicle is turned off or when only the starting battery is connected. It acts like a large generator to power this socket when the vehicle is started. If you want a power source outdoors, you should either start your vehicle or prepare a generator or mobile power supply. This is the space performance when the third row of seats is folded into the pit. You can see that the back is relatively flat. The second row seats of this generation cannot be removed, which of the previous generation Sienna can be removed. After being removed, the entire vehicle can form a very flat surface, like a large van. What this generation can do is move the second row seats as far forward as possible, or forcibly remove them. It can be seen that the central control of the 2024 model remains the same as that of the 2023. As an early product of the TNGA platform, we can see that many parts and designs on the current model are no longer the latest style of the Toyota family. It can also be foreseen that there will be many updatable items in facelift models in the next few years. All 4 windows have one-touch up and down functions. It doesn't have a head-up display. The dashboard is still the early TNGA style, with 2 physical watches and a relatively large special-shaped LCD screen, controlled by the keys on the left side of the steering wheel. The information displayed is relatively rich, but we also talked about it before. The problem is that a lot of information is presented on one interface. At first glance, it looks a little messy. The steering wheel is still the same Sienna steering wheel. There are perforated leather decorations at 3 and 9 o'clock. The leather is not very delicate, which feeling is common to Toyota's leather on mid to low-end products. The shortcut keys on it are all common styles of the current family. The light set has automatic on and off, as well as automatic high beam function. The front wipers do not have rain sensing function. Auto-dimming rearview mirror with garage switch. I've talked about this before. A very narrow panoramic lens without a glasses case. This is relatively stingy. The panoramic mirror is too narrow. The car system and central screen of the 2024 model still retain the form of the old version. Its software and hardware are no longer Toyota's latest one. If the latest version of the family is not updated for the 2024 model, it is foreseeable that it should be updated together with the midterm facelift. We have seen this system a lot before, which is a system that Toyota used extensively on its previous generation of products. There are a lot of physical buttons and knobs next to the screen, which is great. You can see that the software inside is basically out of touch with this era, including not very rich interactive projects and displayed information. The screen response is also relatively slow. The display is not very clear either. Toyota's latest version of the screen is already available on many models right now, but it still leaves such a version for the Sienna model. I really can't understand it. In this version, iPhone's CarPlay and Android's Auto both require wired connections. Inside the XSE Premium package, there's a 12-speaker JBL audio system. But please don't think how great the audio system is when you see the price of the vehicle and hear the name of JBL. In my experience, the JBL audio in this car is really average. Don't have very high expectations for this audio. There is still no panoramic view at this price, only a reversing view, which its clarity is frankly average. The air conditioning control has separate physical buttons and an independent display screen, which is relatively good. The whole car air conditioning is controlled by 3-zone. Included in the XSE Premium package, the 2 front seats have seat ventilation and heating functions. There is a USB data interaction port at this location, and there is a wireless charging pad on the platform in front. This car has Sport Mode, Normal Mode, and Eco Mode. EV mode can be selected when the power battery is sufficient. The cover opens to the right. The central armrest box is very large. This was also a required course for previous minivan models in North America. A USB and a Type-C charger socket inside. There is a 12-volt charger socket on the lower level of the center console. Sitting in the car, let's first take a look at what additional configurations the 2024 XSE Premium package has compared to the regular XSE version. First of all, there is a 7-inch LCD screen and 12-speaker JBL audio. There are some orange stitches in many places throughout the car, including on the center console, steering wheel, and seats. In this package, the steering wheel is power adjustable in 4 directions and comes with a memory function. Both front seats are power adjustable. The driver's seat is 8-way adjustable. The lumbar support is 4-way adjustable and has 2 memories. Other than that, we feel that there is no difference between the 24 model and the 23 model. It's still the taste of Sienna. Now, I have adjusted the seat to the lowest position, and you can observe the space performance. Sienna's seat, when the driver's position is in bottom, it still has a relatively high feeling of supporting you, which can give you a good line of sight. It will not feel like you are stuck in it while driving. The feel of the seat is also consistent with the previous version. There is no difference. The padding material of the seats is moderately soft and hard, just like Toyota's regular seats. It won't give you any surprises, and you can't find any fault either. Another point that I have talked about a lot before is that the previous American minivan gives you a driving feeling that is closer to a sedan. In other words, it is the driving feeling unique to American minivans. But now, you can see that these current minivan products are closer to SUVs, whether it is the design of the central control or the feeling of sitting inside. The straight waterfall-style shift platform, floor-mounted shift lever, and non-height adjustable armrests have all broken the tradition of previous American minivans. There are hard plastics above dash and inside the position. There is some leather material on the edges. Orange stitching. The front passenger side is made of hard plastic. The outer edge is leather trimmed. The legs rest on the center console. The upper edge is leather and the lower edge is hard plastic. The legs can still touch the hard plastic. There is a large storage platform underneath, but I personally don't recommend putting anything on this platform. Sitting in the car and look at the window frame, the metal parts can be seen which are not wrapped in any way. The material used for the door panel is soft material at the top, leather around the armrest, and hard plastic at the bottom. As a daily use model, Sienna's storage has always been good. There are 2 levels of storage compartments on the door panel. The lower storage compartment is longer, but not very wide. There are 4 cup holders on the center console and a very large center armrest box in the middle. Sitting in the car and looking forward, you can see many gaps on the center console, and the gaps are uneven. Some of the plastic parts are still sticking out, and they don't seem to be pressed in correctly. Friends who often watch my videos will know that I am personally fascinated by Toyota, and even Japanese products from the late 1980s to 1990s and early 2000s. I like the Toyota products from that time very much. If we were standing in that era, it would be difficult for us to imagine that 2024 Toyota products would have such workmanship. The second row has 2 seats, which are not the captain's chairs with leg rests that we saw in the top trims before. It's just a relatively ordinary second row seat. The XSE premium package doesn't involve the second row, so the second row is consistent with other XSE. We have talked about the Sienna's second row seats many times before, and they are quite comfortable. All parts are long and high enough to support the body well. Compared with the second row of American full-size SUVs, the Sienna's seat cushions are wider and more comfortable, but just not that luxurious overall. Compared with many second-row seats on the market, which are particularly exaggerated, Sienna's second-row seats are relatively so-so. Of course, Toyota currently cannot have very luxurious seats at this price point. The 2 seats in the second row are manually adjustable to the very front. The back a little further forward. Max backrest elevation. The control for the rear air conditioner is located here. There is also an optional screen on the back with 2 headphones. The display's clarity is very average. The air outlet of the air conditioner is placed on the side. The lighting is still quite dim. This car has sunshades for the second row. The door panel in the second row is a whole plastic panel with a cup holder and storage compartment. The storage compartment is not large. Behind the front center armrest, above is a USB and a Type-C charging socket. There's a 120-volt, 1500-watt, 3-phase power supply underneath. There is an HDMI port here and 2 cup holders below. There is a net pocket on the inside of both seats. Both seats have 2 armrests each. Sitting in the third row, I feel no different from other versions. Everyone can see that the space is completely good. We've watched Sienna's third row many times. Legroom is no problem at all. No problem with headroom either. Even if I straighten my back, my head and hair cannot touch the ceiling. It's just that the seat cushions in the third row are not high and long enough, and there is no way to support the legs well. We have commented before that among the minivan products currently on sale in the United States, the Sienna's third row seat cushions are relatively poor. If the second row passengers don't mind, you can extend your legs toward the aisle, which can greatly alleviate the fatigue caused by the insufficient length of the seat cushion. But even so, it is much better than the third row seats and space of many current medium and large SUVs. Air conditioning vents, reading lights, and lights for the third row. There is a headphone jack on the left and right. There is a USB and a Type-C charging port on the right side. Cup holders on both left and right. The third row also has curtains. In today's video, we have checked out the differences between the 2024 Sienna and the previous version, and the features of this XSE premium package. Overall, there is not much difference between it and the previous XSE version. Only some configurations have been upgraded after all. More money spent. This generation of Sienna has also become a myth in the North American automobile market since its launch. The market has been in a tight supply situation. Especially in some areas, the delivery date of some trims of Sienna has been scheduled in several years, which is very exaggerated. The XSE version is also very popular among our friends. It could not only take into account all the attributes of life, but also has certain characteristics in appearance. The daddy character is not that strong, but again, for the sake of the family, no matter what the daddy character is. Sienna models are currently one of the few models on the market that are still in supply shortage. One thing I still don't understand is that, as hybrid products, Crown models are constantly arriving at dealership, while such as Prius and Sienna are always out of stock. I hope friends in front of the screen who like this Sienna can get it as soon as possible. As always, buy what you like, don't control, don't be shy. Thanks for the video.